Welcome to CRN In Depth, where we talk to a CRN reporter about a recent article they've done. Joining me is Joe Kovar, senior editor with CRN, talking about his newest article on ScanSource, based on an interview he did with their CEO. Joe, what do you want our audience to know about the article?
Well, it's interesting. Source is, it's been around a while, like most distributors, and they've had a unique model because they've had a part of the business that they call specialty technology products is focused more on traditional IT products, and they have the Intelisys business, which they acquired in 2016, focused more on the telecom side and the old agent model. And so ScanSource last week at its partner first conference wanted to talk about what they call convergence. Now, it's not convergence in the traditional sense of converging video and audio and text. They're talking about converging their two businesses, the products and technology business and their Intelisys business, and getting their partners to get together to focus more on solutions. And now what's interesting here, and when I talk to Chairman and CEO Mike Baur, the feeling I get is that they are trying to bring their partner base up to more of what the rest of the industry is doing. So a typical ScanSource partner might be selling barcode readers or might be selling point of sale systems. That's what they've been focused on for 20, 30, 40 years. And so they build these silos. But as we know, in the channel, it's really hard to survive focused on a single product. And so ScanSource, what they're doing, they've never had a partner community. Ingram Micro has its communities, D&H, Tech Data has their partner communities where basically partners get together in these peer groups where they can work with each other, talk to each other, share ideas, share business if they want to, but it's really community to give them a chance to expand beyond their own work. ScanSource has never had that community, and so they're finally looking to build a partner community system. And the second thing is ScanSource has some professional and managed services through its Intelisys business, but most of its partners have not taken advantage of that. And so ScanSource is looking to move now to be able to provide managed services to these partners and basically help a larger number of its partners become managed services providers. That's key for a solution provider's success because managed services equals what? Recurring revenue. And that's the gold standard. So some of ScanSource partners do have managed services and are getting recurring revenue, but it's not as many as it should be. Wants to be able to bring managed services to its partners, either through ScanSource developing its own managed services offerings, or actually going out and making acquisitions, or actually buying or renting managed services from one partner to bring to its partner community. And so those are two big changes that ScanSource is looking to make. And those are key to ScanSource's channel partners actually building their businesses and getting more of what they deserve.
That's incredibly ambitious, and I think it really speaks to, we see this from this demand from customers from a lot of their tech vendors, and I'm sure it's the same for partners and their own vendors, right? Where they want, whether it's one throat to choke or just they want all their vendors to be doing more. Maybe there's some occasions where a point solution, or you want a really specific distributor. Like I know ScanSource, right, has a lot of niches that they've been known for a while, but partners probably want to see more from their distributors and their vendors looking ahead. I'm curious where you see. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Go
And
ahead.
for the partners, it's important because if your customer wants something that you don't have, guess what? They'll get it from somebody else. And that somebody else is going to be a competitor. And so it's important that channel partners actually start building out solutions capabilities to keep as much of their customer spend as they can. Because if the customer's already buying from them, that's great. That means that they've built a certain amount of trust. But if they can broaden their offerings, get the right services, they get a bigger part of their customer spend and make it more difficult for somebody to come in and take away that business. So it's all good. It's good news for ScanSource and for its partners.
Yeah, definitely. It makes me think about I cover Microsoft for CRN, and I see this a lot in many different Microsoft partners where they still are, they still rely on the classic reseller business model where services might not be a huge part of it. Their customers might maybe just want a sale and don't necessarily ask for some sort of service. Like you're pointing out, it's repeat revenue to the partner. And, in a perfect world, it's also keeping their customer prepared so that they, don't have like a break fix issue. It's like, we've properly prepared you so that things don't go wrong. So for a ScanSource to look more into managed services, I would imagine as long as their partners are able to get retrained for that, like reorienting of their business, that should do better for the partner and for their clients.
And it's important that they do shift that focus because what you said about partners providing the products that the customers want. Well, if you just bring to customers something that they want, well, you've missed a lot of opportunities, not only for a sale and for recurring revenue, but also opportunities for helping the customer broaden its capabilities. Simple thing like adding new managed services or cloud services can expand your customers' opportunities to work with their customers as well. So it's a win-win for everybody.
And, looking ahead, where do you see a ScanSource fitting in the distribution market? Because, some days I'm like, wow, I'm shocked there's not more distributors. Some days I say to myself, yeah, this business is too hard. The consolidation makes sense. But did you get a sense of where you see ScanSource fitting into the bigger picture?
Well, the we've got the two big distributors, Ingram Micro and TD SYNNEX, jockeying for number one position. Both are doing very well right now. And then D&H has done a bang up job on the SMB and moving into the smaller enterprise. And so those are the big three. ScanSource has had its focus on its intelligence business and things around that, and done very well. But ScanSource knows that it needs to expand. One of the things that Mike Baur said when we were talking, he said, "You remember when we used to differentiate distributors by broadline versus niche. But today, every distributor needs to be a broadline distributor unless they've got an amazing niche. There are some distributors that are focused on, say, storage or on specific product niches that can bring certain capabilities, but it's the distributors that are embracing everything IT that can really clean up with their channel.
That's really interesting. My view of the channel always comes from a Microsoft lens where, 500,000 partners, that's a lot of people to talk to. Microsoft has made moves that have pushed some share of their partners to look to distribution, either because the Microsoft partner program is so complex, or as we're seeing this year, to even be eligible for a direct bill partner, those milestones are increasing. So everything you're saying is so important as partners start to pick and choose what distributor they're going to go with for their clients. Well, this has been a great conversation, Joe. Thanks for joining me. And to read Joe's article, go to crn.com and check out CRN TV, CRN In Depth on YouTube to see more of our videos. Thanks, Joe.
All right. Thank you, Wade.